Oh, yes, a Wasted Water Sports crew, ahoy! And how is everybody doing? Welcome back. We're all set for the British and Irish Lions. The tour is underway, and their first game is against the Western Force. Now, obviously, they're unbackable. The British and Irish Lions paying $1.01 to the dollar for the victory. Absolutely pointless back in them, so we've absolutely had to load up for a same-game multi. And, of course, just to get the best odds possible, we've gone ahead and we've thrown in, just for a little bit of extra value, we've gone and we've thrown in Ben Donaldson from the Western Force because, well, who knows, basically. When it comes to the, provincial teams, the state teams, in this instance, taking on the touring sides, it's a little bit of a lottery. You never know who's really going to get across the line, if they're going to get across the line at all, the Western Force. So, I mean, take your pick. Ben Donaldson, pretty solid try scorer, so let's get him in there just to boost the value. And if he gets across the line, perfect. If he doesn't, then, well, doesn't really matter. But this will indeed be a tough one for the Western Force. British and Irish Lions looking to bounce back after that loss to Argentina. Unexpected loss. Despite the fact it was only a warm-up, very unexpected loss for them. Oh, boy, what a night we've had so far. The NRL, a couple of good games. And now we're going to wind out the night with the British and Irish Lions taking on the Western Force. And, of course, also we've got coming up, potentially, we've got coming up the Formula One qualifying. So let's not rule that out as well. Let's not discount that. Because that's always a possibility as well, that we could get that done. 4 legs here in this one. Dan Sheehan, Josh Vanderflair, James Lowe, and Ben Donaldson. As I said, just to throw one in there for the Western Force. See if they can get one across the line. If they do, we're laughing. If they don't, not to worry. But fingers crossed that they can get it done there. George Alarm, ahoy, mates. Doing very well, thank you. How are you, sir? Welcome along as we are ready for the start of the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia. Kicking things off against the Western Force. Western Force will win by 19 points, says George Alarm. Alana Ferguson there on the sideline looking like she's straight out of Bonnie and Clyde. Western Force by 19. Hey, George, that is one bold prediction, mate. One very, very bold prediction. May I ask how you've come up with that one? Because I can't see anything but a massive, massive victory here for the British and Irish Lions. So, yeah, I'm curious how you've come up with that one. Is it just hope? Perhaps a little bit of hope that the Western Force get it done. Ben O'Keefe is reffing, that's why, says Gareth Elyard. I don't think even Ben O'Keefe can save the Western Force from this one. 10 minutes until kickoff. So I've jumped in nice and early, haven't I? Jeez. I've got in nice and early for this one. So referee Ben O'Keefe, I don't think he can even save the Force here in this one. I see nothing but a huge victory for the British and Irish Lions, 20 plus. No doubt at all that they will get the job done and kick their tour off. They've got to bounce back. That loss to Argentina, I didn't see the game. I was curious to know if they... I mean, here's the thing. It was obviously their first time playing together, and what a start. Like, Argentina are no easy beats anymore. Let's be honest. So it was just interesting that they were launching their campaign with essentially a warm-up game against Argentina. I mean, that was a pretty ambitious start. But the Western Force are not Argentina. This is more a traditional warm-up match, and yeah, I expect them to smoke them, quite frankly. But what was I on about? Yeah, that game against Argentina, I didn't see it, so I was just curious as to the strength of the British and Irish Lions squad in terms of the rotation. Like, was it a traditional rotation, or did they take players off early? Even if a player was going well, did they sub them? You know what I'm trying to say? How seriously did the British and Irish Lions take it? Gaz Johnson, ahoy, mate. Because at the end of the day, it was, of course, a warm-up game. And, I mean, we've seen it happen in New Zealand. When the Lions toured New Zealand, we saw a couple of the provincial teams knock off the Lions in the midweek matches. But the starting test squad took the fight to New Zealand. And, yeah, there was really nothing between the two teams. Hakari Mutu says, go Western Force. Seven minutes 40 to go to kickoff. So I've gone 4 legs in this one. Dan Sheehan, Van der Flair, Lowe, and Ben Donaldson in my 4 legs. Donaldson's obviously there just to boost up the odds in the multi. Because that's what we need. We need some boosted odds. Big time. Oh, boy. You know, the Lions tour, it's such a special thing. This is the question that I raise about Mark Nawaqanitawase, just talking about Australian rugby players. So Mark Nawaqanitawase, he left to go to the NRL. Now, in a recent interview, he has said he'd be open to returning to rugby union in time for the World Cup. That's why he only signed a 2-year contract with the Roosters, because he is open to a return to rugby union and playing for the Wallabies at World Cup. My question is, the Lions tour is obviously a pretty big deal as well, right? Like, the Lions tour somewhere every 4 years, the same time period as a Rugby World Cup. But they only go to that same country again every 12, yeah? So it's 4 years break in between, and they go to South Africa, New Zealand, Australia. So, I mean, wouldn't that have been a tick off his rugby union box as well? I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for the man. It obviously didn't mean anything to him, a Lions tour, but I would have thought if he's open to coming back for a World Cup in 2027, I mean, the experience of a British and Irish Lions tour, I would have thought would be some sort of checkbox. I mean, do the Lions, do the World Cup, and then maybe look at rugby league in 2028. I don't know. I can't speak for the guy. It seems like an odd time to jump ship if he's interested in going back. But that's just my 2 cents. Gaz Johnson says, I know it's only a warm-up, but Lions really want a performance today just for the, what is it that Eric Bischoff always says? Escaping me. Perception. Perception is key. It's about the perception for the Lions, isn't it? They lost to Argentina. They don't want to now lose their opening tour game to the Western Force. Perception. They want to get the W just to clear the air a little bit. Say, yes, that Argentina game, it was our first game together. It was a little bit of a blip in the radar. But of course, as we know in these tour matches, how many of these players will actually be backing up and playing in the test matches? So Absolutely, Gaz Johnson. It's a big deal in the UK. It's a big deal here as well, quite frankly. And it's a big deal when they tour New Zealand, when they tour South Africa, especially. The British and Irish Lions is a big deal. So, but anyway, like I said, I can't really speak for the guy. That's he can do whatever he wants, can't he? He's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants. Good for him. It's working out very well for him there at the Roosters. Apart from under the high ball, where he's a little bit suspect, of course, but he's doing very well over there in rugby league land. What time is the Springboks versus Barbarians game? Let's see if I can sort you out with an answer to that one. It is South Africa Barbarians. Okay, so it's 10 past 1 in the morning, my time here in Queensland. So Queensland, Australia, 10 past 1 in the morning. I wonder if it's on the telly, because I'll be up for the Formula One qualifying. So I wonder if I check that out. I wonder if it's on. You're in New Zealand, so 3 a.m. Fair enough. Yeah, I wonder if that game has actually been broadcast on Stan Sport. It is. Ooh. Well, hello. Because I've heard that the Barbarians have actually put a squad together. Let's have a look. Have they got their team sheet up here? Let's have a look at the teams for that one. Barbarians. Yeah, okay. They've got some names there. They have got some names there lining up that are very familiar for us and our Super Rugby live streams. As the teams are coming out onto the field, and this is an atrocious Western Force jersey, by the way. They did not wear this in Super Rugby, did they? That is a horrid-looking jersey. Maybe it's just that I'm not used to it. Kickoff, moments away. Hakari Mutu, $20 on the Western Force at 16. That'll be a hell of a payoff, of course, if it comes off. Fingers crossed for you. Referee Ben O'Keefe with the whistle. There's some chatter about that in the YouTube chat room. Waste of Water Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Twitch, live on TikTok. So thank you very much for joining us wherever you've joined us from. And we welcome you along. Kickoff for this one is just moments away. It's a special jersey. Matty Colkin, ahoy, mate. Well, they should send it back. That's what I say. Referee O'Keefe blows his whistle, and we're off and running here as the Lions kick us off. And it's down to Donaldson for the first touch here for the Western Force. And there's obviously a lot of people tuning in because my Stan Sport just completely froze at that moment from the kickoff as the Force clear up to halfway, not finding touch. And here is Elliot Daly returning it for the Lions as they own the early field position, setting it up. Rucks down that left edge they go. Russell pops the short ball up. Force drive in, look to get over the top. Still there for the Lions. Force still digging away there with their feet. Digging away like a demented mole. Does anyone know that reference? Through the hands now, James Lowe goes out the back to Van der Flair. Still there for the Lions, but the Force racing up defensively and putting pressure on. Daly goes into contact. Force very aggressive to open this game. Russell slightly forward there, that ball, but it's play on. Down the left edge and some space opens up, but there's a big man out there. No speedster. Back in field. And McCarthy lays it back. 10 phases now for the Lions. Sending it out into midfield for Russell. The crossfield kick. An unmarked player out here is popped back in for James Lowe. Lowe with the in and away. Flicks it back for Sheehan. And Dan Sheehan gets the opening try. Now that was some slick hands from the Lions. It's also tick number 1 off our same game multi. Dan Sheehan under the post and the Lions lead 5-0. What a start. Crossfield kick. The ball batted back in field. Ben Russell put it on a dime. James Lowe, I thought he was in. He's in my multi as well. And Dan Sheehan lurking up in support. 5 points to 0, the kick to come. What a start here for the Lions. Well, Gaz Johnson, he'll be happy. The conversion is over. And they lead this game 7 points to 0. What a start. Lions, a tick off the multi as well. The dream, the chase, right? That's what it's all about. Force get us back underway. They go short-ish with the restart, and it's claimed. The Force back in possession. Peach keeps it alive. And here's Robertson up the middle. Here come the Force. Imagine if Donaldson got over here. That'd be crazy. 5 meters out here, the Force. A chance to answer right back. Nick White goes in, digs it out. Here's Robertson again. 5 meters from the line, the Force. A huge cutout pass from White across the face of the defense. But the Lions jam up. Forcing them backwards, so to speak. Wow. Exactly what they did. They're 10 meters out now. White dummies. Can't get through. The pick and go. 5 meters out. 7 phases now for the Force. Told to use it. The pick and go is the option again. They're keeping it in tight. Hangaramosa tries to go over, and now Hoskins a meter short. Keeping it in tight. Penalty advantage now for the Force. 12 phases, half a meter out. The line is right there. White sends it out. Through the hands they go now. Huge cutout pass out wide. And it's Peach stepping back in field. Flicks it out for Donaldson. Donaldson ducks under a tackle. He's held up and driven back into the field of play. Oh, that would have been huge. 2 ticks off the multi in the opening 4.5 minutes would have been massive. And the Force have dived over to score down the short side. Who's come up with it? It's Nick White. Nick White hits back for the Force. 7-5 kick to come. Oh, Ben Donaldson was so close. Can you imagine 2 ticks off the multi inside the opening 5 minutes? That would be monstrous. Nick White with the try. The Force have hit back. They showed patience. They waited for the penalty advantage. And then they went expansive. Donaldson was so close. "7-5 kick to come. Donaldson from the sideline. Strikes it well. It's on target. It's hooking back. Just shaves that far upright and sneaks in. And we're all locked up at 7 apiece. What a start to this game. Western Force hit back after the Lions went in early. Finn Russell with the restart. Sends it deep. Donaldson takes it. Dummies the kick. Steps away from Hansen. Now he gives it out to Peach, who fends off one. Carrying it outside their own 22 here. The Force, Nick White, gets the penalty. No intent to roll. And that's Byrne who's penalised. Wayne Stretch, ahoy mates. And Matty Colkin, you're off to the AFL tomorrow, hey? Very nice. The Force finding touch now. Byrne trapped. Play that penalty. Pangaromosa with the throw. Goes to the front. The Force win it. Uncontested, really. And the short ball for Ikuasi. Staying on this right side. Donaldson with a nice pop pass for Peach. Opens them up. Needs support. And it's back in field. The Force are now 10 metres out. Concerning signs early here for the British and Irish Lions. As White digs it out. They're offside here on the left. But straight up the middle goes champion De Crepe. 5 phases, 5 metres out on the attack again. Go the Force. Penalty advantage. They can throw the caution to the wind a little bit here, the Force. Donaldson looks to kick. It's charged down. They come back for the penalty. Take the 3. Ringrose caught offside. Well, Gaz, what's going on? You can hear the silence. John Walsh, ahoy mate. Lions, Lions, Lions. And they find touch 5 metres out. Now, this is obviously not the Lions starting test squad. So we can read into this whatever we want to take away from it. But they are opening them up on that edge at will as Pangaromosa throws to the middle, uncontested. Sam Carter comes down with it. This rolling maul has got great formation. But now the Lions drive through. Illegally, says the referee. Penalty advantage. The Force grabbing close to the sideline. Nick White now fires it out. And it's loose out the back. We'll come back for the penalty. 2 in a row now for the Lions. They'll put it into the corner and go again, I'm sure. Okay, HIA, one of the Force players. Giving the thumbs up. But off he goes. Okay, so there's the territory battle at the moment. 10 minutes into this game. Will Harris. Off he trudges. Penalty to the Force. Donaldson puts it into touch. They go again. Liam, it's absolutely not a full crowd. There are a lot of empty seats. But, I mean, it's a big stadium. I wouldn't expect it to fill out for essentially a friendly, a warm-up match. Force tap this one down from the middle of the line out. They've got it 10 out from the line. White digs it out. They're offside again here, the Lions, down this open side. No call this time from referee O'Keefe. They've dodged that one. Champion De Crepe, 5 out. White into midfield for Carter. Now they've got them for offside. Another penalty advantage here for the Force. White changes direction. The crossfield kick from Harford sends it way out on the full. And that's 3 in a row now. And O'Keefe might reach into the pocket very, very soon. That is 3 penalties in a row now, down inside the red zone. And they're having words now. Yes, this will be a warning. Consider this a warning. Discipline needs to tighten up. Penalty to the Force. 7 all, 10.5 gone. Five out, right in front. It's a gift 3 points, but it's a bit of a muckabout game, really. So Donaldson's going to put this into touch. Scotty Dog says up the Force. Somebody there in the TikTok chat room's got $20, I believe, on the Force at $16 odds. They'll be cheering right about now. Pangaramosa throws to the front, uncontested. The rolling maul is set. Lions get through and look to spoil, and they've done extremely well. They've ripped the ball away. And the Lions are with it. Williams has it at the back of the ruck. Gives it out here to Furlong. They just want to set up a clearing kick here. Force look to spoil. But it's still there for the Lions. Williams has it at the back. The box kick. Not lots of distance on it. And it's only about 24 meters out from their own line. So not a huge clearing kick there. They're still under pressure. Pangaramosa goes over the top. And Harford for the Force sets it up in midfield. White sends it out. 2 out from the ruck to Sam Carter, who's driven back in the tackle. Aggressive Lions defense. 12 minutes gone. 7 all. Pangaramosa tries to duck under the tackle. Danjam, ahoy mates. To the right side they go. Darcy Swain sets it up inside the 22. Ekuasi. Told to release. Here's White now to Donaldson. Through the hands now. A short ball almost opens it up here. Hamish Stewart. White inside for Hartford. Still 22 out. The ball spills out the side of the ruck. It's play on. Turnover for the Lions. A chance to counter-attack. And away goes Tui Pelotu. Puts the kick downfield. And it bounces nicely in the end there for Mac Greeley. And the Force back in possession. A lot of defending early on here for the Lions. 34% territory. Tells the story. Told to use it now. Nick White has it at the back. Sends the box kick up. And Finn Russell, it is there, is it? Charging forward. I couldn't quite see, sorry. But whoever it was takes it. And the Lions come up with the mistake in midfield. Oh. Knock-on advantage. And that is frustrating for the coach. Through the hands now. Advantage over. Donaldson. On to Greeley. Goes in and away. Tries to get on the outside. Donaldson with the flick pass. And they've almost opened them up again here, the Force. The pick and go for Swain. White now into midfield they go. Ekuasi loses it, and they're back in possession. Tui Pelotu. Back it goes for the clearing kick. Elliot Daly bounces it just outside the 22. And it's going to sit up in the field of play. Back forward is Alex Harford, who clears. Doesn't find touch. Okay, counterattack is on out left here for the Lions. That's where they go. James Lowe dummies the kick. Gets the offload away. And now the kick goes through from Ringrose. And it's going to sit up in the 22. Pressure here on the Force. Really does well to get back and collect it. But they're 5 out from their own line now, the Force. They've lost all that field position. Scruffy mates, yes, the Force were serious underdogs, as you would expect. Nick White told to use it here at the back of the ruck. The box kick is the option, and he sends it low, flat, deep, but not a lot of distance in the end. About 25 out from their own line here, over on that far touch. The Lions will have the line-out throw. 72% possession to start this game in favor of the Force. Well, who had that on their bingo card? Western Force dominating possession. I certainly didn't. Lions go to the middle, tap the ball back from the line out, and they've got it. Sheehan runs away. Backwards, though. Furlong sets it up in midfield. Hands it off, and there's one of their big boppers. That might be Byrne or Vanderfleer there carrying forward. Down the short side, Pollock with nice slick hands. Gets it back again, Pollock on the wraparound. He's 10 out from the line. He's got the arms free. Pops it up in the try for Thomas Williams. Well, they're scoring easily when they get the ball, the Lions. And they're up 12-7. "16 minutes gone. Whenever they get their hands on the ball, they look threatening. It was Pollock with the slick hands and wrapping around. Receives the pass back from Vanderfleer. Keeps the ball free, and Williams lurking up in support. Thomas Williams versus Nick White in the battle for the worst moustache. I would love to see that. E.B. Williams, ahoy mate. Thoughts on Wallace Satiti? Wallace and Gromit Satiti being out due to injury, with Christian Leo Willie coming into the main squad. Well, if Satiti's out, then if Satiti's injured, then not a whole lot that could be done. I'm sure Leo Willie will do the job. $14 points to 7 as the conversion is successful. Lions over the Force. The Force are making a solid showing of themselves, though, early in this one. The kickoff will land about 5 out from the 22. And it's claimed again by the Force from kickoff time. No. Lost forward, says the referee. And we'll have a scrum down here to the Lions. And, that's Donaldson. No, that's not Donaldson. It's Darcy Swain. They just have the exact same haircut. That was concerning for a moment. Dolphins are up 12 points to 6 in the NRL, apparently. Well, that's good, because I tipped the Dolphins. And since the Eels let me down, I do need some points back. James O'Connor is off to the UK, says Scotty Dog. It was so weird seeing James O'Connor in a Crusaders jersey, I'm not going to lie. Scrum down here, the first one of the match, I believe. And the Lions hold firm and secure their own ball. Williams has it at the back, fires a huge cutout pass, and almost in touch there, surely, was Mac Hansen, who now heads back infield. Bumps off the first tackle and sets up the ruck. They're about 25 out now. Pollock, his second carry in this little phase. And now Williams with the box kick. Lots of height, no distance. Taken by the Lions, and it's a penalty for offsides. E.B. Williams says, I still remember Darcy Swain breaking Quint Tupaya's leg in the breakdown. Scary stuff. Oh, I must have missed that one. And I'm glad I missed it. I hate stuff like that. I was freaking out on bloody Friday night, last night. I was freaking out at Tarpany's dislocated finger in that Raiders game. So I'm glad I didn't see that, or at least I've blocked it from my memory. As the Lions find touch here about 30 out from the line on this near touchline. That's the right edge of the field for them. As Sheehan throws to the back, uncontested. Sheehan loops around and takes it and out into midfield for Tui Pelotu. To Russell, the short ball. And Elliot Daly. Oh no, it's Ringrose who sets it up. Finn Russell holds the pass up nicely, wraps around. He's got Tui Pelotu, who spills it, but it's gone backwards. Still there for the Lions. Again, a wraparound play is the go-to. Ringrose straightens, beats the first tackle. They're 22 out in midfield here. To the left edge, Russell fires it into the chest of Sheehan, who wasn't ready for it. And that'll be a knock-on Western Force scrum. So, obviously, once again, this is just a warm-up, but you've got to earn the right to go wide, right? Earn the right to go wide, whether it's a warm-up, whether it's a World Cup final. You've got to earn the right to go wide. Lions are just going edge to edge at the moment, willy-nilly. It's obviously a bloody warm-up game, so they're throwing caution to the wind somewhat, but I guess you know what I'm trying to say. I would have been hoping for a little more. What's the word? I don't know. The scrum sets, though, on the force feed. Nick White fires it out into midfield. And now Donaldson pops it up for Peach. Peach one-on-one with Hansen. Hansen brings him down. Christopher, you support the Western Force? Very nice, says Ekuasi up to halfway. Force in possession. Donaldson at first receiver again. Pangaramosa into a little bit of space. Looks to keep that ball alive, but now the clearing kick will be the option. No, they're going to keep it through the hands as Harford didn't back himself there for the kick. White's got it at the back of the ruck here, 40 out from their own line. Told to use now, and White with the box kick. Flying through is Greeley to put pressure on. It's there for James Lowe, and James Lowe gets the banana kick going. Oh, God, what a kick from James Lowe. Oh, just turns and goes dead in goal. Just inside the goal line. And they come all the way back. Scrum down for the Force. That's unlucky for James Lowe. Very unlucky. He tried to get the shape on that with the banana kick. Didn't quite pull off the spin. Will Harris has passed his HIA and he's back out on the park. So that's good news there for the Western Force. Dolphins are up 18-6, are they? Oh, I changed my tip to the Dolphins right before kickoff. The scrum sets, 23 and a half gone. Lions 14-7. Force, the scrum holds firm. And actually, they get a big shove on, and the front rows are popped up, but it's play on. White goes to Greeley from the back of the scrum. One out from the ruck here, Hoskins. As they set towards midfield here, the Force, Sam Carter lays it back. Pangaramosa up to the 22. White trying to dig it out. Ducks into contact. They go left. Cutout pass from Donaldson. Hits the mark. Stepping back in field as Peach gets the arms free. Back for Donaldson. Flick pass inside. Intercepted by Tui Pelotu. Lions back in possession. Peach and Donaldson down this left edge. I'm starting to feel pretty good about this multi. Because Ben Donaldson's getting very heavily involved. As the Lions now 10 out from their own line, told to use it. Williams with the box kick. Sends it downfield into touch. Not a lot of distance on that angle. So this will be a force line-out throw. About 25 out from the try line. E.B. Williams says, what will come first? Australia winning a Bledisloe Cup or GTA 6? Oh, GTA 6. GTA 7. Throw to the middle of the line out. And the force spillet. Knock on by Hamish Stewart. And this will be a scrum down to the Lions. I mean, just think, Aussies. Last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, right? John Howard was the Prime Minister. There would be a generation of Australian rugby followers that don't even know who John Howard is. I mean, that's crazy. That is a crazy streak. "26 minutes gone here in the first tour match for the Lions. They're up 14-7. Scrum goes down. Williams feeds. Collapsing here on the near side. Ben O'Keefe says, play on. Cut out pass now. And space for Hansen to put the kick and chase through. Ringrose spills it forward, and we're about to have another scrum. Knocked on by Gary Ringrose into touch. Option here for the force. Scrum or line out. "14 points to 7 in this one. The Lions. Mac Hansen down in back play. Okay, here he comes. He's up and about. He's got his headgear on. He's fine. So I got Dan Sheehan nice and early. We almost had Ben Donaldson inside the opening 5 minutes as well, but Nick White ended up getting the try. I need Van der Flair. I need Lowe. I need Donaldson still. Scrum, binds, and sets. Nick White feeds it. Force on their own 22. Big shove here from the Lions. It's crabbing sideways. Short ball from Stewart to Proctor. 30 out from the line. White sends it back for the clearing kick. Harford sends it down the middle of the park, and Finn Russell's back there to take it on the full. Gives the ball to Hansen. Hansen goes up the middle into force territory. Williams with a loose pass to Tui Pilotu. Does well to hold it. Russell now onto Daly. The grubber kick through. Chasing hard is James Lowe, putting pressure on Greeley, but Greeley gets away from him. James Lowe might have done a hammy by the looks of it. No, he's all right. Just a little bit of cramp. Force with some front foot ball here and numbers down the short side. Hartford with the kick. But Elliot Daly's back there to take it on the full. He returns serve. Donaldson runs outside the 22, so can't put it into touch. Daly with a good kick. And now Russell from inside his own 22. A bit of a skewed kick. He found touch, no worries, but not a lot of distance. And the Western Force, they might have won that little territorial war. Sino Zenon, ahoy, mate. Sadly, the only people interested in rugby in Australia now are Kiwis anyway. That's not entirely true, but as this loose pass is almost scooped up by Mac Hansen, who would have been in under the sticks. He couldn't collect it cleanly, and we'll get a scrum down here for the Force. But I completely and totally understand what you're trying to say, Sino. I remember in, bloody hell. I mean, the 2003 Rugby World Cup final. Place was packed. it obviously makes a difference when your team's winning, right? So that makes a big difference. The Wallabies were on fire in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the crowds told the story. Injury stoppage here, which gives me a chance for a quick break as well. We'll be right back. 14 points to 7, the Lions here. Scrum down force. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, the thing about, okay, rugby league gets all the press in Australia on the East Coast. AFL gets all the press in Melbourne, obviously. Rugby union is still a monster of a sport worldwide, Australia included. So, yes, Australia are getting a World Cup coming. There'll be a lot of people that travel over from New Zealand for it, of course. And yeah, I do think, even though rugby union in Australia is nowhere near the level that it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, like I said, I mean, it's far, it's the furthest thing from dead, like some people suggest. So they'll get big numbers for the World Cup. They get big numbers for the Bledisloe Cup. Super Rugby's a little bit, but that's because Super Rugby itself, up until this season, has been a little bit meh. So, Force win the scrum, and they go up over halfway. 9 minutes to go till the halftime break, and some front foot ball here. Half it out to Donaldson, who kicks through, and it sits up nicely at the back for Elliot Daly to clear. Just outside the 22, it falls for Harford again. Low gets that banana kick going again, but it's going to pick out Donaldson on the full. Donaldson runs out of the 22, and he has a crack. It's going to find the grass, but not a lot of distance on it. And Finn Russell now gives it to Hansen. Hansen takes the line on, and he's just short of halfway. Russell with the double pump. McCarthy losing some ground here. Cut out pass from Tui Pilotu to Ringrose. Pops it back for Vanderfleer. Tries to scoot down that short side. Cody Nikorima injured in the NRL. Well, that's huge for the Dolphins. I hope they're far enough ahead to do a Dragons and maintain that lead. Well, 24-6 they are. Chip and chase here. It falls for Hansen. Hansen. Dummies. Oh, he should have given it. And the ball's ripped away from Peach. Beautiful work there in defense from the Force. Dylan Peach. And now they break away. Counter-attack is on. Kicking duties might be taken away there from the big fella as he sends this one down. Loose pass from Pollock. Lowe has to retreat to the in-goal for it. Gets the fend on Greeley. Runs back into the field of play. And he clears it up over halfway. James Lowe now chasing his own kick. Nick White's under pressure at the back. Fires it in field. Harford thinks about kicking. Decides to have a run. Pops it back here for Proctor. And the Force inside the Lions territory. That was a messy little sequence of play. Cut out pass. Opens it up for Robertson. Can't get the arms free. And he had no support runners anyway. Donaldson fires it over left for Peach. He's been immense tonight. Runs back in field. Sets it up. They're 40 meters out still as the Lions pluck it away. The fleck pass goes for Tui Pilotu, who sends the kick downfield. Pollock's been tripped. Oh, Robertson stuck the foot out there on Pollock, surely. It sets up in the end goal, and it's grounded. And the Lions are appealing for a trip there on Pollock as he was chasing through. 6 minutes left until the break. I would have thought they'd be having a closer look at that. Pollock just went down like a sack of potatoes. Their legs just get caught up is the call from referee O'Keefe. Thank you very much for the kind words there, Matty Colkin over on TikTok. I apologize. It took me a moment to get around to that, but very much appreciate the ongoing support from you, my friends, and the kind words as Nick White with the goal line restart sends it deep. And Pollock runs it back into contact. 35 out in midfield. Lions go left. Short ball from Tui Polotu. Back in field they go. Cummins. With 5 minutes to go until the halftime break. Oh, force blatantly in around the side of the ruck. And a penalty here for the Lions. Right in front. 35 out. Simple kick a goal if they want it. How do I say this name? Average. It's my dad. Thank you very much. As Finn Russell taps and goes. Dummies. Pops it back for Daly. Elliot Daly dives over to score. As tensions now boil over. Even the reserves are into it from behind the goal line. Pollock's involved. Well, Pollock is convinced that he was tripped a couple of phases back, so no surprise that his tensions are boiling over. As it stands at the moment, though, Elliot Daly has got the try. 19 points to 7. The Lions are in the lead. But something blew up after the whistle there. Ben Russell with the quick tap and go. Pollock was lurking up in support, got a shove in the back, but Elliot Daly was there anyway. Great vision from Finn Russell, caught them napping on their short side. Actually, E.B. Williams has said last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, Gordon Tallis was the captain of the Maroons. I've got another one for you, E.B. Williams. The last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, Twitter didn't even exist. So, there has never been a tweet about the Wallabies winning the Bledisloe Cup. And now Twitter has been sold and turned into X. A whole era, a whole generation of technology went by. There was and never will be a tweet about the Wallabies winning the Bledisloe Cup. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? 19 points to 7. The kick to come here. Finn Russell, the try that he set up, puts it down the middle. And the Lions lead 21-7 with 4 minutes to go until the halftime break. Great vision and great execution there from Finn Russell. And this is a nice little buffer now for the Lions. The Force goes short with the restart, and it's claimed by Peach. He's having a blinder of a first half here. Dylan Peach back for Donaldson and Hartford. Stewart steps back in field, and a penalty now to the Force. Taken out in the air. Take the 3. Dylan Peach has been impressive tonight. Ben Donaldson, impressive in the first half. The Force have certainly not been disgraced here by any stretch as Donaldson finds touch. 2.5 minutes to go. They'll have the line out, about 15 out from the line. Can they jag one here before the break? 30 points to 6 at half time. The Dolphins over the Rabbitohs. I'm so glad I changed my tip. And swung back to the Dolphins. Pangaramosa with the line-out throw. Here on the left touchline. The Force on the attack. They go to the middle, uncontested. No rolling maul. Pangaramosa loops around and they've spilt it. Hamish Stewart, I believe it is, with the dropped ball. That was poor. Lions have it 5 out from their own line, but they're under knock-on advantage. They've got that little buffer should they need it. 2 minutes to go till the break. Told to use it now at the back. Williams sets up the box kick clearance. Thomas Williams finding touch, not a lot of distance. Actually, he got a pretty sharp angle on it. He's done well there. And it'll be about 30 meters out from their own line here. 1.5 minutes to go until halftime. And a Force line-out throw. Izzy Katoa's pretty bloody good, E.B. Williams. Pretty bloody good. Dean Harris, ahoy there, mates. From Scotland. Very nice. It's so nice to... Oh, it's a nice inside ball here for Peach from Nick White. Bumps off one and he's inside the 22. White goes again. Short ball for Carter. Can they hit back before the break here? The Force. Robertson sets it up in front of the post. 15 out. White fires it across to the right edge. The Lions defense blowing through and putting a big hit on. Back to the 22 they go. White sells the dummy. Trying to catch the Lions offside. Robertson again now in midfield. White with the cutout pass for Stewart. Tries to skip on the outside, but well defended there from Tui Pelotu. One-on-one tackle is made. Still there for the Force. Pollock in over the top, but illegally as he goes off his feet. Penalty advantage to the Force. Penalty called. No clear release, and they've had quite a few warnings down this end. And actually, referee O'Keefe is in the pocket, and he's giving him the yellow. Right on the stroke of half-time, Henry Pollock, yellow card. Donaldson puts it into touch. 5 meters out from the line, the Force. An attacking line-out. But yes, Dean Harris from Scotland, welcome along. I was going to say, it is so nice. Like, we covered the 6 nations here on the Waste to World of Sports. And it's so nice to have our European, I suppose you would say, our European friends back again here for the British and Irish Lions. Pangaramosa with the line-out throw here, uncontested. They go to the middle. The rolling maul is set. It spins away from the contact. Numbers in here for the Force. The backs now get involved. The rolling maul is set. It's broken away into a pod of its own. 3 men out in front. And what great work from Joe McCarthy to hold this up as it collapses to ground over the line. And that will be the halftime break. Joe McCarthy, take a bow. That rolling maul, it broke away. 3 players, 2 Lions, 1 Force player broke out in front. And Joe McCarthy with a try saver. 21 points to 7 as we go into the halftime break. The Lions, a bit of a mixed bag, but you would expect that. Like I said, this is a tour match, a warm-up match. This is not the same 15 that's going to be starting the test series. So it's all about just getting players a bit of a run, trying out some things that the main team will perhaps try out come the test matches. It's a little bit of a hit and giggle in many respects. Ads, ahoy, mates. Yes, the Dolphins are up at the halftime break. What was it, 30 points to 6? Something like that. Matty Colkin's off to the Matildas game tomorrow. That should be fun for those that are into soccer. Sage, ahoy there, mate. This is Rugby Union. If so, how does the scoring work? Well, the only real difference is 5 points for a try instead of 4. Still 2 points for a conversion. Uh, 3 points for penalty goals instead of 2. And 3 points for a drop goal instead of 1. King James 685 says, shows how strong Super Rugby comp is. Yeah, look, I get it. Super Rugby had probably one of its best seasons, in fairness. But like I said, we've got to remember that this is a warm-up match. This is not anywhere near the starting 15 for the Lions come test time. And whilst they'll be taking it seriously, of course, because every game is serious, but they won't be all that concerned, I suppose. They'll be trying a lot. They'll be trying a lot of things. Lando's just gone off track in the Formula One, has he? Oh, well, practice sessions are the time to do that. Because I'm pretty sure it's still practice. Formula One qualifying would be when? 11 o'clock tonight? I'll have to check it out. Or are they in qualifying now? No, third practice still, yeah. FP3. Gaz Johnson says, to be honest, I think the Force took us by surprise in that first 20. Oh, definitely. Definitely, yeah. I don't want to at all take away from what the Western Force have dished up tonight. When I say that it's a warm-up, it's a trial, essentially. It's a little bit of a hit and giggle. Take nothing away from the Force. Believe me, the Western Force are taking this very seriously, as are the Lions as well. So, yeah, I've got to be careful sometimes when I say things like that because I don't mean it to come across as dismissively as it probably sounds. No, I'm absolutely not dismissing anything. The Force came out firing. They were up for the battle, and 7-all is not a scoreline I expected to see. I thought the 21 by the Lions is, yep, okay. Pretty much expected that. But when it was 7-all at one point there and Force were dominating territory and possession, that was a little bit surprising. Midnight for me, the qualifying. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I am trying to stay up. I am trying to stay up because we've got the Springboks versus the Barbarians, which is 1 a.m. my time. I think we could sneak in a cheeky, if I happen to successfully stay up, I reckon we could sneak in some cheeky F1 qualifying. DJ Shaq, ahoy mates. They are right under their skin, the Force. I know the scoreboard doesn't suggest it at the moment, but they are right in this contest. It might not suggest it at the moment, but they're not far off the Western Force. I mean, if they score first in the second half, certainly game on. Levs, ahoy there, mate, over there on TikTok. Waste a World of Sports, of course. Live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Facebook, live on Twitch. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I think I covered everything. Live. Rugby League, Rugby Union, Formula One, wrestling. I'm not watching the Dolphins game, Levs, but I am following along with the score. Dolphins are up quite comfortably at the halftime break. 30 points to 6 halftime. And looking very good. Guy Willits, ahoy there, mates. An Englishman currently on holiday in the deepest South France. Very nice. And as I said, yes, welcome along to all our British and Irish Lions region followers and newbies as well, because I've started following the Six Nations. Dan Jam, what was it? Was it last season? The last Six Nations just gone. Time all blends into one for me now. I don't know if it was last year or this year, but the last Six Nations, we covered it pretty much in full, and I absolutely loved it. There is now a big Southern Hemisphere fan of Northern Hemisphere rugby off the back of it. It was a beautiful watch. Pretty much all the games went down to the wire. But anyway, I'm sure France is a fun holiday. I've got a few countries on my bucket list. France isn't one of them. But speaking of France, All Blacks France coming up as well. The rugby action will be continuing here on the channel in the coming weeks, as we see the All Blacks first hit out of the season. Matty Colkin says, who would you play fullback for Queensland, Dan, Walsh or Hammer? I talked about this during the rugby league streams, and I said, for me personally, just the nature of my selections would be pick from within. Hammer's already in the squad. Hammer's already done all the series of training, all the camp. So I'd be going straight for the Hammer. But it'll be Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh will absolutely get selected. 100%. Guaranteed. Jeff Cook, great commentary. Living in Pontypool, South Wales Valleys. Is that an actual place? Pontypool. Love it. Welcome along, Jeff. We will, of course, here on the Waste of Water Sports channel be covering every single one of the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia, every single tour match, every single test. So if you are enjoying yourself here on the Waste of Water Sports and hanging out with me, of course, hit the like and subscribe, all that stuff that happens, whatever social media platform you're joining us on. Like and subscribe, I believe it is on YouTube. A follow and a thumbs up on TikTok, and a like and a follow on Twitch, and a like and follow on Facebook. Could very much appreciate that. And yes, we will be covering every single tour match, every single test match of the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia in 2025. Matty Colkin says, I wonder how the person that had a bet on the Force is feeling. Probably not too bad, actually. Quite honestly, probably not too bad at halftime. 21-7. They're still in the game. E.B. Williams says, would you rather take a Burton bomb or a scrum against Tamati Williams? I'll take the bomb, thanks. I'll take the bomb. I was actually quite good at under the high ball back in the day. But I know that Tamati Williams would bend me like a bloody pretzel. So give me the Burton bomb any day of the week. At my current age and my playing days long past me, I would probably make a complete goose out of myself. But I would have a much better chance of claiming a Burton bomb. Tamati Williams would twist me all sorts of ways. And it wouldn't be a good outcome. That's a smart answer, says LV. Yeah, so 21-7 at halftime. I mean, then they're certainly not out of the contest by any stretch of the imagination. They were always on a hiding to nothing, weren't they? So I think they've put on a pretty decent performance for themselves, a good showing. So that'd be my call. All right, I've got to have myself a quick break. And we'll be back for the second half right after this. I'll be right back. Just got to have a quick toilet break for half time. Pontypool, where 1977 British Lions front row consisting of Graham Price, Charlie Faulkner, and Bobby Windsor played in the New Zealand tour of played in the 1977 tour of New Zealand. Very nice. Zoe, ahoy there. Hey Zoe, have I told you about the Intoxigamer return? It was actually supposed to be tonight, but now other things have come up. Formula One qualifying and the South Africa versus Barbarians game that I was unprepared for. So it's going to have to be delayed for another week. But yes, my gaming channel is also returning. Since I stream full time now. And thank you very much, Zoe02, for the heart me on TikTok. Cheers. My long-time friend, long-time follower. So if the Force score first in the second half, anything could happen. I'm keeping a keen eye on my same game multi. But you know what? Ben Donaldson was almost over. We got Dan Sheehan with the first try. Ben Donaldson was over the line. Held up. That's how close it can be sometimes. We talk about that a lot. That's how close it can be. Second half is underway. The Force get us back started, and this is loose from the Lions. They've lost it backwards. Daly cracks back. A risky offload to Hansen in the in goal. They're held up now, 5 meters out from their own line. This is a good start for the Force to the second half. Still in that 5 meter line outside from their own try line here, the Lions. Williams has it set on his own in goal. Puts the box kick clearance up, doesn't find touch. It's still here for the Force. Harford back into midfield for Greeley. About 30 out here, the Force. Staying on the short side is Nick White. Darcy Swain sets it up. The Lions don't commit to the ruck, so it's easy ball here for the Force. Remember, Pollock was sent to the bin in the first half, so he's still got 8 minutes left in the bin under that yellow card. As White sends it left again, this time for Hoskins. Again, the Lions don't commit. Not a single Lions defender committing to that ruck. They are picking and choosing their moments here to go after the ball. Still there for the Force. 7 phases in. Now they drive over the top. But we come back. The advantage was being played. A knock on by the Lions. Force will have the scrum in midfield. About 30 out. So I still need, obviously, Van der Fleer, James Lowe, and Ben Donaldson. And there he is, Ben Donaldson. Speak of the devil. So scrum down here for the Force, about 30 out, slightly left of midfield. But this is a good attacking opportunity. The big men, the big boppers of the Lions drawn into the tackle, drawn into the scrum, sorry. And it's a solid foundation here from the Force. Cut out pass from White. On the bounce, it goes to Greeley, who steps back in field. Still going Greeley. Inside the 22. Lays it back now on this near touchline. White wants it again. Swain sets it up. Robertson. Just to the right of the post. Still 22 out. White into midfield. For Stewart. Dummies. Takes the line on. Donaldson. Goes out to Greeley, who steps and beats Ringrose. Gets the arms free. Hansen's in over the top to try and turn it over, but it's still there for the Force. Pangaramosa. Head out from the line. And a penalty to the Lions. Brendan Pangaramosa, a clean out, a neck roll. And a penalty to the Lions back in midfield. So that was a call from the bunker or the TMO. Foul play was found, and it was Pangaramosa with the neck roll. And that is a let-off nice and early here for the Lions. Who find touch. Thumping this one upfield towards the halfway line. Come on, Force, says Hakari Mutu. $30-6, still in the NRL, 9 minutes after halftime. The Dolphins looking pretty comfortable over there. As Sheehan with the line-out throw. 10 metres, the Force side of halfway. They go to the middle. Force steal it. It's been pilfered. Now Greeley in midfield. Back it goes for Harford. Cut out pass from Stewart is on the money, but they run out of space as Peach cuts back in field. Out on that left edge. The Lions defense now really manning up. The Force are going backwards. And Nick White, unsurprisingly, with the box kick, sends it high up to halfway, taken by Elliot Daly, but obstruction. Obstruction of the kick chaser, and it's a penalty to the Force. $21-7. It still is 5 minutes gone in the second half. Force will have good field position here. Donaldson with the touch finder inside the 22. And a chance for the Force. Big chance. Well, remember what we said at the halftime break. If the Force could get the first points of the second half, not like they're out of this contest. And at $20+ outsiders, as the throw goes over the top. Harford pops it back for Peach. Good, strong carry by Dylan Peach. He's been immense. Harris in midfield, driven back in the tackle. And they've spilt it. One out from the ruck, Sam Carter. Lions come away with it. They can clear now. McCarthy fires it out to Russell. Through the hands now. Hanson. Flick pass back for Lowe, and Lowe's in open space. He's got support out wide. Gets the pass away to Williams. Thomas Williams back in field for Lowe. Lowe back for Williams. Some beautiful interplay between the two. And the Lions score from their own side of halfway, and Williams has done a hemi. Oh, no, he's all right. Just a little cramp. Wow. Counter-attack from the knock-on. The Lions immediately stretch it to the right. And it was just passing back and forth between James Lowe and Thomas Williams. And I actually think Thomas Williams might have done a hemi here. He's still not looking 100%. But the counter-attack from the knock-on, and it was just Lowe who makes the line break. Has Williams in support. Williams back into Lowe. Lowe back out to Williams. Easy. 26-7 kick to come. James Lowe couldn't have done it himself, could he? To give us a tick off the multi. Finn Russell from the sideline hooks this horribly off to the left. Pushes it past the face of the post. And it remains 26 points to 7. And Williams is indeed down in back play, having that leg stretched out. But a counter-attack from their own side of halfway. And that worked out very well. Oh, he's coming from the field now, Williams. Okay, so who's on the bench for the Lions? Because that's the end of Thomas Williams tonight, I think. And up and about is Alex Mitchell from England. So that'll be the end of the night for Thomas Williams. Alex Mitchell about to enter the fray. And yeah, I think the poor bugger did a hemi. Force, get us back underway. The ruck is set up just outside their own 22. Ball is out. And here is Mitchell with his first touch. He sets up a box kick. Batted back in field by the Lions. It's here for Sheehan. Penalty goes to the Lions. Marcus Smith is the number 23 on the pine there, E.B. Williams. Yes. And that is a hell of a touch finder. The Lions finally touched 30 out or thereabouts from the force line. And here we go. Okay, it looks like the Lions are getting ready to clear the bench. Pollock's coming back on. I think I saw Ronan Kelleher there. Jack Conan's coming on. Andrew Porter. Yes, they're rolling out the replacements now, the Lions. Furlong is off. Stewart's on. So mass changes here. 9 minutes into the second half. E.P. Williams says Marcus Smith's nickname should be the Filipino Heat. Is he part Filipino, is he? I didn't realize that. But absolutely. I mean, if he is, then 100%, kind of like Eddie Guerrero was Latino Heat. I'm down for that. There's the Lions now clear for touch, and they bounce it into the touchline inside the 22. A nice low flat kick there from James Lowe. My hair twin, by the way. James Lowe's my hair twin. You can't really tell because I wear the bandana all the time, but yeah, James Lowe, my hair twin with the top ponytail and the shaved sides. Kerryama Brass, ahoy mates. Not streaming the Maori All Blacks. No, that game's on right now, I believe. the Maori All Blacks versus Japan. As the Force are told to use it here off the back of the line out. Japan 15. Okay, yeah, actually it's over. Full time. Maori All Blacks 53, Japan 20. And it's the Japan 15 as well, so it's not the official test team. 53 points to 20. Victory there. As the Lions have the line-out throw here on halfway, uncontested at the front. And here's James Lowe in at first receiver. Steps away from one, takes it into Force territory. Mitchell fires it out into midfield for Sheehan. Bumps off one. Ringrose pops it up for Pollock. They're 40 out from the line here and controlling possession now. Russell down the short side for Tui Pelotu. Quick hands and Hansen in space. Back in field. And who's that supporting? It's Ringrose. And Ringrose scores. And he needs some help standing up. Don't tell me he's done his hammy as well. And they're starting to open them up now. 31 points to 7. The kick to come. Gary Ringrose. Off the back of some more slick hands. E.B. Williams says, okay, so Marcus Smith, born in the Philippines. And the Philippines, I love it then. I love it, E.B. Williams. Filipino heat. It's done. I've just got to remember now. I've just got to remember. I love it though. I myself am actually very well connected with the Philippines. My last 3 girlfriends have all been Filipinas. Crazy, huh? From right in front, Finn Russell pops this one over. And it is 33 points to 7. And they're starting to open them up now. The Lions. MSE says, I expected this score. Yeah, look, the Force, they held their own and put up a fight for as long as they could. But ultimately, essentially, you've got a test team playing a state team. Class will tell out eventually. They certainly have not disgraced themselves here tonight, the Force, as they also now secure the kickoff. White flies it over into midfield. Harris sets up the ruck. Just inside the Lions' territory. Back down the left edge they go. Faifua sets it up. Dane on the short side. Donaldson pops it back for Stewart. Hoskins still there for the Force. 53 minutes gone. In midfield again. Champion the crepe. 36-16 in favor of the Dolphins. Oh, don't tell me. The Rabbitohs are hitting back. They've got back-to-back tries. The Rabbitohs fighting back, but still, yeah, long way to go. 36-16. Anyway, the Force spill the ball and Pollock comes away with it. Kick and chase for himself. Pollock needs the bounce, gets it. Pollock gets the arms free, does he? Yes. Releases it, gets up and goes again. Great work there from Henry Pollock. It's on now for the Lions. Out to the left. Mitchell sends it that way. Huge cutout pass from Van der Fleer. And the try will be scored by Joe McCarthy. 38 points to 7. Kick to come. And they are rolling through them now, the Lions. Beautiful work from Henry Pollock. Releases the ball on the ground, gets up, reclaims possession, and it was on. Any number of Lions could have scored this out on the left. A huge overlap. Any number of 3 Lions could have come up with the points. Wednesday night, Lions versus the Reds. As Finn Russell puts this one on target, it's right down the middle. And the Lions lead 40 points to 7. And it has really, really opened up now. And on Saturday, Waratahs versus Lions. As the Force goes short with the restart, Lions knock on. So another result from kickoff. So that'll be an area for the Lions to work on. The restarts, the Force have been strong. As this is a loose pass out the back, Donaldson tracks back for it, but they've lost a lot of yardage. And they'll come back for the knock on from the restart. So yeah, that's an area that they need to clean up, the British and Irish Lions. The restarts, they've not been secure at restart time. The Force have had some success once they started going short. They've secured some possession. As Pangramosa off. That's his night done. High fives all around for him on the bench. There's still over 20 minutes to go in this one. Plenty more points left out there. My boys are still out there. Van der Fleer, Lowe, and Donaldson. So my multi is still on. Scrum down for the Force. Over on that left edge. 40 meters out from the line. The scrum sets. Nick White feeds a big shove here from the Lions. But White gets it out. Donaldson on the wraparound. Gives it out now the back for Peach. Spins away from one. He's been solid tonight, Dylan Peach. Cut out pass, intercepted, and Hugh Jones toes it through. Now it's a foot race. Mitchell and Jones versus Greeley, I think it is, tracking back, who grounds it in goal, and it's Hamish Stewart, actually, for the Force, who sets the goal line dropout. Intercepted by Hugh Jones. Immediately put boot to ball. A foot race at that point. 2-on-1 the Lions. Nick White goes short with the restart. Easy take here for the Lions. No, they've spilt it. Well, it is definitely an area of concern for them. Something to work on. The Force going short with all the restarts. They've had success with it. So definitely something for the Lions to work on and clean up. A scrum down here for the Force on their own 22. So Nick White's off. Robertson comes on. That's the end of the night for Nick White. There's still 22 minutes left to play. Curtly Beale there, the water boy. A high five for Nick White as he trudges off. And the scrum sets. Big shove again from the Lions. White, who's off the field now, obviously. And it's controlled at the back. The clearing kick down for Elliot Daly, who steps in and away, brings it up over halfway. And nicely set there from Daly. Russell now into midfield. And the Lions have it on the halfway line. 40 points to 7 they lead. Alex Mitchell sniping around the ruck. Back in field for Lowe. And straight up the middle. The Lions have opened them up. Where's support? Van der Fleer pops the pass up and it's intercepted. Donaldson's away. Kick and chase for himself here. Donaldson is being outrun by... Who's that tracking back? It's Mac Hansen. Hansen wins the race to the ball. I thought Donaldson was on there for our multi. And now Hansen with the clearing kick. Nobody at back for the Force. Of course, Donaldson was up involved in that play. And they've lost it forward. Henry Robertson knocks on. Scrum down here. Lions will have the feed. 22 out from the force line. I thought Donaldson was on. $38 points to 16 in the NRL. Oh, 42-16. The Hammer just scored. A hat trick for the Hammer, as the Dolphins are surely home now. Yay, I'm back in the winner's circle on my tips. The scrum sets. 22 out from the line. Penalty, full arm to the Lions as the front rows collapse. $20 minutes to go, 40 points to 7. They'll obviously pop this one into the corner and keep the attack on. As Finn Russell finds touch. Well and truly back to a full complement as well. Obviously, the Lions. As we've got a little bit of a break here. Lions slow to get in and form this line out. Sheehan throws to the middle, and it's taken down by Chesham. The rolling maul is set. Going backwards, though, as the force drive through. Mitchell releases it. Tui Pilotu with the short ball. And Hugh Jones is taken down. Loses it in contact. 5 out from their own line. Solid defense from the force. It'll be a scrum down. But looking very threatening once again here, the Lions. 4 tries for the Hammer, huh? There you go. So Hammer already had the hat trick. And he jagged a 4th one there. 42-16. It is. 44 now with the conversion. 44 points to 16. The Dolphins are back. As Dylan Peach leaves the field. What a night he's had. And here he is. Filipino Heat. Marcus Smith. Oh, I love it. That's one of the best nicknames ever. Well done, E.B. Williams. Filipino Heat. Ready to inject some spice into this contest. It is the Western Force with the scrum, though. 5 out from their own line. Another big shove here from the Lions. Huge drive. And it's a loose pass from the Force as well. Errors really starting to creep into this contest now for them as they play massive, massive catch-ups. 40 points to 7 down. It's there for the Force, still inside their own 22. Told to use it. Robertson's got it at the back of the ruck. Box kick is set. Didn't have a lot of protection, so he's done well to get that one away, but he only finds touch just short of the 40-meter line. The Lions will have the attacking line-out throw. And, yeah, they're all over them now, the Lions. The Force were gallant, but ultimately the class of the international touring team proving way too strong. And there's still 17 minutes left to go. If you're new, joining us here on the Waste of Water Sports, we will be covering all the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia. The next game for them will be Wednesday night as they take on the Queensland Reds in another warm-up. As Sheehan throws to the middle of the line-out, and the Lions come down with it. Smith through the hands now, and they've spilt it. Mac Hansen with the knock-on, and we'll get a scrum down here to the Force. So yes, feel free to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, whichever platform you're joining us from, whichever of those things the platform allows. And join us live again in the near future for more of the British and Irish Lions tour. Richard Trainer says, speaking of Filipino, look up Carl Angelo, an American Filipino rapper. Scrum down here. Force with the feed. 40 out from their own try line. 40 points to 7. This lead for the Lions. They bind and set, and a free kick. Early engagement. Free kick for the Force. Donaldson taps and goes. Stewart lays it back on halfway. Donaldson down the short side, and pressure from Hansen forcing the mistake. Into touch it goes. Was it off the Lions? Yes, it was. Cheeky little knock on. Wallabies versus Fiji next Sunday. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I'm so glad to have international rugby back. Obviously, as much as we've been enjoying and do enjoy covering the NRL, it's so nice to have international rugby back. As the Force go to the middle of the lineout and secure possession here with 15 to play. Can they come up with some consolation points? Here's the kick pass, but it's an awkward bounce. Goes in behind Stewart and into touch. Lions will have the lineout throw just inside the Force half. So it's just not falling the way of the Western Force at the moment. The bounce of the ball awkward on that occasion. The Reds versus the Force. That's at Suncorp Stadium. James Lowe on halfway. He's got Tui Pelotu running with him. Can the Lions crack 50? I mean, in all honesty, that's the scoreline that I was expecting. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, that's the scoreline that I personally was expecting as Pollock beats the first tackle again. Oh, he's been strong tonight, Pollock. He got that yellow card, but outside of that, he's been immense. Into midfield, and the wraparound for James Lowe. Goes out the back for Tui Pelotu. Cut out pass for Daly. And here's McCarthy on the flank. Steps back in field. Big Joe McCarthy out there on the left wing. Bounce pass sits up nicely in midfield. Mitchell with the double pump goes out for the Filipino Heat. Puts the crossfield kick in, and it's out on the full. Oh no, it's bounced just in the field of play and into touch there from Marcus Smith. James Wharton from Australia won the F3. So there you go. I'll tell you what, there's a bundle of Aussies floating around in motorsport at the moment, isn't there? As this throw goes over the top, and the Lions come away with it against the throw. 5 out from the line. Mitchell sends it into midfield. And here is Ollie Chesham driving to the line. Half a metre out, the ball spills out the side of the ruck, and the Force come away with it. Marley Pearce carries it back out to the 22, and the Force are off the hook. Clearing upfield now. Daly breaks away on the counter-attack. Daly's got James Lowe in support. Lowe back in field for Pollock. A penalty advantage, and now it's given. High contact. And the Lions, well, they turned the ball over 5 meters out. The Force cleared. Counter-attack from the Lions. Daly to Lowe. And they end up ultimately with the penalty 10 meters out from the line. Filipino Heat, Marcus Smith finds touch, 5 out for Lions with the attacking line-out throw. E.B. Williams, Danny Ricciardo is still around, but he's not driving. He's involved in Red Bull as like a spokesman. but he is still connected to F1, but he's not still racing. As Kelleher, with this line-out throw, goes to the middle. Uncontested. Lions ball. Reserve driver. There you go. He's the reserve driver. Penalty advantage here to the Lions. As they secure the ball here at the back of the maul. Mitchell tries to dig it out. Sends it out into midfield. Tuipulotu looks to grub her in behind the line. Smith scoops it up. Pour through, put pressure on. But it's still there for the Lions. 10 meters out in midfield, and we'll come back for the penalty. No advantage, and it's a full arm to the Lions. Five meters out. 69.5 minutes gone. And they'll put this one into touch as well, you should imagine. Marcus Smith finding touch, 5 out. The Filipino Heat. I love it. That's the greatest nickname ever. Kelleher with the line-out throw. They'll look to set that rolling maul again. Goes to the middle. Uncontested again. Mitchell releases it immediately into the midfield. Tuipulotu lays it back. 10 minutes to go here. Pollock in front of the posts. Tries to burrow his way under. Still there for the Lions as they sweep around to that right edge. Force defense holds firm for now. Pick and go. A couple of meters out. Mitchell wants some more forwards. Get in there and drive it up for me a little bit more, boys, says Alex Mitchell. A meter out, and it's another pick and go. Penalty advantage. 5 phases. Pollock. He has an attempt. Still penalty advantage. New advantage as Mitchell switches directions. Smith holds the pass up and puts Elliot Daly into a huge hole. And that's another try for the Lions. Try assist to our boy, Filipino Heat, Marcus Smith. 45 points to 7. Kick to come. That was a beautiful little piece of play from the Lions. 47-7 they lead. Force go quickly with the restart, and James Lowe thumps this one into touch from deep inside his own 22. And the line out here for the Force will be inside the Lions territory. Can they get some consolation points here? Did the Dolphins crack 50 in the NRL? They have 44-28. Geez, they've let the Rabbitohs in for a couple of tries. As it's here for the Lions now, they've stolen it. The kick through and chasing through inside the 22 as the Force scoop it up and clear into touch. But that is a big territorial advantage to the Lions, who will now have the line out just outside the Force 22. Oscar Piastri got second in P3 over there in the F1. Dean Harris wants to see the Lions take it all the way to the 80. And here they are in midfield. Tuipulotu. Mitchell now to McCarthy. Just one out from the ruck. Will Stewart. 6.5 to go. Mitchell digs it out, sent it to the right. Here's Jones stepping back in field. Hugh Jones Lays it back for Mitchell. Smith goes out the back for Tui Pelotu. And now Daly's up in the line, takes it on. Can't break through, but it's still there for the Lions. Chessum in midfield. 30 out. Mitchell to Lowe, who spills it. It's gone backwards, though. Play on. And Marcus Smith lays it back. Still there for the Lions. Chessum to Tui Pelotu. Huge cutout pass that's knocked on by Jack Conan. And a scrum down here for the Force with 6 minutes to play. %, EP Williams. I am a big gamer, so I will certainly be checking that one out when it's released. I mean, let's face it, though, absolutely nothing will compare to ET's Rugby League. Or Jonah Lomu Rugby for the rugby union supporters. That was the pinnacle of footy gaming for me. 47 points to 7 here. 6 minutes left to play. Force with the scrum. Still inside their own territory as the Dolphins have cracked 50 in the NRL. There you go. Dolphins have brought up 50 points here against the Bunnies with 5 to play. Lucky me, I changed my tip right before kickoff from Rabbitohs to Dolphins. A set play here from the Force. Creates a little bit of space out on the left. Hansen jams in. The ball's loose. Still there for the Force, though, on halfway. Champion De Crepe up over halfway. Pollock rips the ball away and the counter-attack's on. Tui Pelotu kicks through. Pollock leading the chase. And it sits up at the back for Donaldson. Donaldson steps away from Mitchell. And it's there for the Force. Great scrambling. But they're only 5 out from their own line. As the Lions continue to pile on the pressure here. The kick is charged down and bounces towards the sideline. Scooped up by the Force. And here's a chance. But they need some speedsters. It was Tom Horton, the big fella out there on the breakaway. Numbers to the right. If they can send it out there. Donaldson gives it to Stewart. They're out of space. Force, though, still in possession. Really takes it up to the 40. Still there for the Force. Inside the last 5 minutes. Faifua. I think that's his name. Advantage for the Force. Chip and chase is spelt, and we'll come back for the penalty. Four minutes left to play. The Force have given it their all. But 47 points to 7. Donaldson kicks for touch. Finds it 22 out from the line. Can they get some consolation points here, the Force? It's unbelievable, hey, like all the tries scored. 2, 4, 7. 7 tries. And Dan Sheehan's the only one that's ticked off. Crazy. No tries by the wingers. Mac Hansen, James Lowe. No tries for the wingers tonight. That's crazy. As the Force delay the throw to the line out, and they delay it too much. A free kick to the Lions on their own 22. And just the simplest of simple execution not working out. The Lions not even finding touch here. They put this kick high down the middle of the field. They want to do some more defending, it seems like. They're having a live defensive run. Force have it again on halfway. Donaldson throws the cutout pass here. Hits the chest of Horton. Horton up over halfway. Back into midfield now. Donaldson, and the ball is spilt by the Force, but under advantage. Offsides by the Lions. Take the three. 47-7. Take the three. Donaldson's going to put this into touch. And 10 meters out from the Lions try line, the Force, with a minute and a half left to play. Can they get their second try of the night? Very slow to wander up here to the line out. 46,656 is the crowd figure as the Force go to the front. Matty Colkin, that's actually decent, I would say. I mean, that's decent for a tour match. Loose pass out the back. Still there, though, for the Force. A minute left to play. Waifua in midfield. Keeps this one alive. Can the Lions keep their line intact? 5 phases for the Force. Staying on that left edge. Proctor. Taken down by Hansen. And now the short ball is gone backwards, says the referee. Still there for the Force. Donaldson sends it infield for Burry. Losing ground here, the Force. They've gone about 10 meters backwards. Kunzel in center field, lays it back. No look pass for Donaldson. Numbers to the left. But Elliot Daly's up there. And now it's intercepted by Hansen. Hansen gets it back for Smith. And Filipino Heat goes to ground 5 short of halfway. Can the Lions have last say in this one? Russell to James Lowe. Lowe with the goose step. Puts the fend on. Short ball for Jones. Back for Lowe. It's helter-skelter here for the Lions as they go up to halfway. Pollock taken high. Penalty advantage. Daly with the cutout pass to Tuipulotu in space. Straightens, gives it up for Hansen. Hansen's got Mitchell with him. Draw and pass. Alex Mitchell brings up the 50 for the Lions. Oh, that was beautiful. That was slick. Silky, smooth. 50 is up. And that is game, set, match, comprehensive. The Lions launch their tour of Australia. If we ignore that game against Argentina, their time actually on Australian soil starts with a victory, and a very comprehensive one at that. $52 points to 7, the kick to come. Filipino Heat. Marcus Smith puts the conversion over to make it 54 points to 7. The British and Irish Lions have started the tour with a bang. A solid performance. The Western Force, they put up a good fight to start the match. But ultimately, the class of the Lions, it just overtook everything. And yeah, I mean, they ran away with it, didn't they? Ran away with it at the back end. And a successful start to the tour. Like I said, they did have that L to Argentina, but ever since they've hit these shores, they've started with a win. Well done to the Lions. Big victory here over the Force. So, up next for them is the Queensland Reds on Wednesday night. Dean Harris says the largest crowd in Perth. Got to see the Lions roar. $54 points to 7. What a performance that was. Getting the win. The Wasted Water Sports, thank you so much for joining me here for this one. As Joe McCarthy being interviewed. As I said, we're live on YouTube, we're live on TikTok, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Facebook, and we will be covering every single one of the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia, all their games, all the tour matches, all the test matches, of course, as well. So do feel free to follow along all the action here on the Wasted Water Sports. Now, what's in the very near future for us? Well, I'm going to have a very, very much needed break because that's 3 games in a row, 2 NRL, and now the rugby. I'm going to have a break, and we'll be back in, well, possibly a couple of hours for Formula One qualifying. If I don't do Formula One qualifying, we'll be back in 3 hours' time for the Springboks versus the Barbarians. So I might skip the F1 qualifying and just do the Springboks Barbarians. I think that's actually a little bit more realistic, to be perfectly honest. But otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow for all the action anyway, as the Storm take on the Sharks in the NRL and the actual race tomorrow night, Austrian Grand Prix. But anyways, thank you so much for your company. If you've enjoyed hanging out with me here on the Wasted Water Sports, feel free to give me a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever it is on the social media platform you join us from. As I said, we're kind of everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. And we'll be back very, very soon. Either way, Springboks, Barbarians coming up later tonight, or we'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much. I appreciate your company as always. Catch you next time. Cheers.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. They're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.